livelihood also is snatched, and then making people more poorer. Because when industries come and does these way things, we feel that in the place industries have gone, there would be some kind of a development. But instead of development, people are becoming more poor because these industries prefer people coming from other places. Now, for the scientific understanding, also I tried to collaborate with UN, and we were invited in UN recently in March 2023, and we were there where after almost 48 to 50 years that there was water conference for the first time, and we could share our all kinds of thoughts and ideas and experiences with globally all kind of people, and understand what is the situation. You can see that that times Minister of Jal Shakti and even the Namami Gange was with us along with many other dignitaries. So this kind of a background which I bring, it enriches me to some extent, and with that I feel that I should be talking to you all, so that a proper understanding is built in the with everyone, and that with that perspective that we can go ahead. Remembering Mahatma Gandhi, whose visions was so clear from the time when there was no issues of water as what we are facing today. But that period onwards, he had said, be the change you wish to see in the world, not just for the water, for everything, all natural resources and everything. But we have forgotten all those things. So today I would remind that we have to understand nature, and to understand the nature, we have to understand the science of it. And very dear to me, this particular definition of river, which I keep telling every session, because we have forgotten what is river. Because even in the school books I see today, when it is coming to talk about the rivers, it is only about the rainwater which flows through the river. In between, somebody has to tell me, yes, you are audible and we are able to hear you. Can I hear that?
Yes, ma'am. You are clearly audible.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. So I will read it in Hindi, but yes, it is all we are Indians, so we can understand Hindi very well. But I will make it easy for you all by little translating also. हिमजल भूजल स्रोत एवं वर्षा के जल को उद्गम से संगम तक स्वयं प्रवाहित रखती हुई, जो अविरलता, निर्मलता और स्वतंत्रता के साथ बहती और सदियों से सूरज, वायु और धरती से आजादी से स्पर्श करती हुई जीव सृष्टि को परस्पूरक और पोषक नाता जोड़कर जो प्रवाहित है वह नदी है. That means we have to look at the holistic characteristic feature of a river, which it moves from its origin with the water that is the himjal, that is even rainwater. When it moves from its origin to confluence, along with, like it has to move on its own with swatantrata, independently, aviralta, nirvalta, with purity, incessantly, and touching the panch mahabhut, that means suraj, vayu, dharti and all these. But today what is happening, our rivers have become totally dark in color or totally polluted. Neither sunlight is able to penetrate, nor there is even soil which is able to work with a natural mechanism to self-regulation or self-cleaning mechanism has got all affected. And that's how Jeev Shrishti means it's biodiversity. When these comes in contact with the sunlight, soil and all that, it gives rise to the biodiversity. And with that completely a river is made. But today this is not possible because everywhere things are very bad. And if I talk in terms of environment, the term environment etymologically means surrounding, that means interconnectedness. When we talk of rivers or anything, we never talk in terms of interconnectedness. We have to understand each and every, like what we know from our childhood about the food web, food chain. That means all kinds of organisms, every living thing is connected. If at all anything disappears or extinct, that means our life is becoming very, very narrow, and we are moving towards extinction. We'll see how it is, to what level also we have gone to the extinction today. Now, for that need, that we have to look at the river environment from its zero order stream onwards. Many people, they don't know what is the zero order streams and what are the river zones, why floodplains are important. Now see, because people are there from the geography department and many other department, GIS is very, very today our gadget smartphones are such that very easily we are able to see the Google Earth and others, that from that we can make out how the rivers were 20 years back, 25 years back and all. And that way, if we look at what was in history and how we can change in our future, that would be very, very helpful. And zero order streams means from where first stream comes, like, where the river rises, that is the zero order. And from that, the small, small streams, which makes a small river, then from small river to a big river. So those are the zero order streams, which from there we have to do the corrections for the river rejuvenation. We have to understand, because many places I see that as a fashion, people go as an event and they start doing, digging at one particular place, that they will show that they will put JCB and all, and they start cleaning of the river. They will call it as cleaning, and otherwise they will try to show that we have cleaned the river. But cleaning of river doesn't happen that way. We have to understand about the river zones, which is the blue line, red line, and the flood lines, floodplains, how it is very, very important. And let me tell you, before I forget also, as today we are also celebrating the World Mangrove Day, Kolkata was the first state to show to the world and everyone that how a microclimate needs to be there to keep our environment clean and to be with the climate change resilience. Now we have Kukur system in our Kolkata. That means in West Bengal, everywhere. But of course, that even the Kukurs are vanishing. But most importantly, what I was trying to bring to your attention, because today is the wetland like mangroves we also consider as wetlands. So first East wetland, which is there in Kolkata. First time it was built in Kolkata, and that is able to it is able to treat the sewage in a very nature-based manner, nature-based solution it is. Today we are putting so big infrastructure, but that is giving zero results. But you have to look at the East wetland, which is there in Kolkata, which is a live example how sewage treatment can happen and what should be the way of treating our sewage to keep our rivers clean. Now, to look at, we also call this as a Nadi Pathshala to understand the rivers when we have to study. So, when I was talking about the zero order, can you see my cursor? Yes, anybody can say, can you see my cursor? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hello, can
ma'am.
I hear? Yes, yes. So we can see that when the river originates, it originates from such hilly regions. We know we have Western Ghats and many other Ghats and this kind of mountains and forests are there from where our river originates, and it comes with the gravity, it comes down and down and down. So upside it is the upstream and downside it is the downstream. Now on this, the meandering which you can see today, this meandering is also completely affected.
Hello,
See,
ma'am.
meandering, it is supposed to be. Hello?
Ma'am,
Yes?
sorry, ma'am, for interrupting. Ma'am, your PPT is not
Hello?
moving.
No, I am not moving. I am showing my cursor to be moving.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm
ma'am.
showing the meandering of the river, which is very, very essential. What has happened that today we have, instead of this meandering of the rivers, we have made it to the state course and all. We are controlling the course of the river today. And meandering means, if I talk about the analogy, if you look at our gut system, because it is as good as our gut system, that where different type of microbes work, and when when the water flows through it, a lot of microbial system and all which keeps on working. That's why Ganga is only the river having medicinal property, what we say, because it moves from Himalayas to the plains. And the sides of this, that is called as floodplains, which is very, very important aspects of the riverine system. So here I have put it like why riparian buffer zones are, because today see everywhere encroachments are so much that on the sides of the river, see our civilization came into existence from the bank of river, and today what is happening, we are trying to kill the river itself by encroaching on its sides, and even the rivers also we have started encroaching. But what we are losing in the process, if we don't have the riparian zones, that means the side zones which should be on the side, that means you have some buffer zones of 8 meters, 6 meters, 50 meters in many cases. So if those buffer zones are not there, the river doesn't have its own mechanism of self regulation, biodiversity and all, everything getting impacted. as well as the cleaning, the self-cleaning process. And that is the reason today we see all our rivers very, very dirty. So maintaining riparian zones or the buffer zones are very crucial to maintain the ecosystem health of by filtering the pollutants, because that is able to filter the pollutants also, stabilizing the shoreline soils. That means it will stop the erosion, it will give diverse wildlife, regulating water temperature. This is very, very important. Today we are seeing the way temperature rise and the erratic rains. It is only because we are encroaching on these kind of riparian zones, and that is very important to understand. So going back to, I wanted to revisit our Indian knowledge system, through which I wanted to bring all of your attention towards what was our Indian knowledge system. And traditionally we used to be called as the world's teacher, like dunia ke guru the hum. And today we have lost that kind of only because we have forgotten the things. Now see, in 1905 and 1924, between this period, this British agriculturist, which I said about the Albert Howard, who traveled to India as imperial economic botanist to government of India, and he observed Vedic agriculture practiced by India farmers, and noted health benefits of the plants and animals and humans. Very categorically I'm speaking this and telling you, because I'm going to take you to the history, how we then became today the way we are, and how we started with bore wells and other things. That is why I'm showing that how earlier it was the practices with the Vedic culture, and how we have diverted, and today things have gone wrong. He said the first duty of agriculturist must always be to understand that he is a part of nature and cannot escape from his environment. He must therefore obey nature's rule and feed the soil, not the plant. So we have to understand all these things to understand our rivers. Now look at this, is I'm showing you metropolitan city Bombay. Look at our rivers. Our rivers are typically with these side walls, retention walls. Why? It is not for to protect from the floods. In the name of protecting from the floods, it is made. But you can see the encroachments. All politicians and the builders lobby will make everybody first stay here, and then all encroachments will happen. Then they will be given compensation. They will be rehabilitated, and the buildings are being constructed by reducing the width of the river. So this is all Mumbai's river. This is the condition of river Mumbai, you can see. So that is why we always go with all the authorities like solid waste management department, then water department, and everybody. We keep showing them the things so that together we can bring the change. Now today all these places have become clean because I take them with me. Solid waste department, I took workshop what needs to be done, because our role is not just to criticize, but our role is also to give them solutions. So always we have to be ready with the solutions when we talk about any kind of mistake being done. So today, all our rivers, if we see, almost 80% you will find everywhere plastic in the garbage, in the water bodies. When the fishing is also being done, very little fish comes, but all plastic comes with it. So this is the condition of all the rivers. I'm sure, and I have been traveling to West Bengal and many other states. Most of the places I have seen the same condition. So just showing you these pictures doesn't mean that other places are clean. Everywhere the system is the same. Now most importantly, wherever you will see the water bodies getting polluted by sewage, it will have hyacinth growing in it. Today people have started only targeting these hyacinths and calling it as evil vegetation. But I tell you, it is not evil. It is nature's gift to us, which is taking care of every pollutants in the water body. And see here in Bombay, Powai Lake, so much of tons of hyacinth daily being removed and taken to dumping ground. Dumping ground taking means it is again adding to the organic load of the river. Now our ministers also, when they came, I said how we have to take care of these hyacinths. We should not remove them. See, having the 70% of this and 30%, like we have to put it on side so that the sunlight can penetrate. Only when it completely covers and sunlight is not able to penetrate, that time there is little problem. Otherwise they needs to be there. Before that we have to first divert all our sewage instead of killing these hyacinths. And most importantly, repurposing of hyacinth can be done. Kolkata is again it is a kind of a city which has all kinds of solutions, and it started, and then across India in many states this kind of work is happening, because the cellulose which is there in the hyacinth is very, very useful. So because we are also celebrating the Nature Conservation Day, so from that perspective also I'm trying to show few things in between. So how yarn is being made, sari is being made, so many bags and other things being made with the hyacinth. So we need to make use of it. And so many women empowerment is happening, capacity building, skill development, everything is happening with that. Instead, what is happening today, our government and everywhere it is like, glyphosate is being sprayed. Today with the drone technology, glyphosate, that all these hyacinths are being killed with this. The flip side, in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, as well as in most of the capital cities everywhere. In our villages only these kind of mountains and forests are there, and from there these river come and we transport all this water to the city region. But the villages, the locals there, the tribals there, they have to fetch the water from a very long distance. And this is not exaggeration, but this is the fact everywhere you go. And they remain deprived of water. And the water, in Mumbai, we are getting water transported from almost 250 kilometers away. And from these villages, we are getting water. So we are least bothered. What the kind of rivers I showed in Mumbai is reason because we get all water from these villages and we are not at all bothered. Now coming to the war aspect, which I was telling, but little I will take you through the politics, that is geopolitics. That means just now I showed you what even Howard said about how we have to look at the soil and how rich was our country in agriculture. But ultimately in 1960, when there was famine, always India depended on the Western countries, and it went to America and then asking for the solutions and all, and then World Bank and all for the funding and all. And that period in 1960, it happened that first time this in the Green Revolution, in the name of Green Revolution and World Bank's intervention, that in Punjab, where there was completely drought, and then there was the groundwater. Sorry, no, there was famine. So there it started with, instead of, we were millet country, but it started with cash crops, wheat and paddy, which was not our kind of crops, but they taught them as a cash crop. And then now what we are seeing about the pearly burning or the stubble burning, that is only because of the reason that they go in rotation, paddy ke baad wheat, wheat ke baad paddy, like that they do, and that is why that kind of a situation. And today condition is that by 2016, that so much chemicals being used, and during 1962 up to this period, if you see, the groundwater is gone overdraft, because from that even they were taught borewell drilling, and from that is how from rural the borewells came to the city areas also. And similarly in 2016, because of these agriculture practices and the fertilizers, chemical fertilizers being used, now there is lot of cancers, and there is cancer train in Ludhiana, and that's how it is also called as ecotourism. That means they mean to say that less people die of terrorism, but with this kind of a thing, a lot of people are dying. 7 lakh die annually in Ludhiana. So that is why it is called as eco-terrorism. So try and understand how we are going in the wrong hands when we just look at foreign countries, and we think that they have the solutions, instead of looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat, we say, but then again we go to the foreign countries for the solution. We should not be. And our indigenous knowledge system, we have to go back and revive our and revitalize our all that Indian knowledge system. Now paddy growing, one more thing which people don't know, when we talk about the greenhouse gases, paddy produces most of the nitrous oxide, as well as this sewage treatment plants which are there. From that also many different kinds of this kind of gases which are more than this carbon dioxide and ammonia and all. But then we have forgotten about understanding of these kind of gases also, which is more harmful than, which we call it as greenhouse gases. Now this war of water was anticipated, in the period when there was a talk about the distribution of Indus water. Now, there is always a thought that Punjab is using more of water, and then it is taking away water from the Pakistan and Indus water. They are not getting enough of water. So that time, retired General Pramod Singhal, he had said that India has 16% of world's population and 3% of water resources. Diverting the river water, Pakistan say India won't stop to use the water and interfering in the crop growing and causing joblessness in their country. So from that period only it was being predicted that someday war will happen. But to our irony, that today and see, because as I was telling that how there was this picture itself shows how in the north region so much of groundwater depletion. Now another thing which came with the this pumping of water from the groundwater. See what they do for the oil drilling, in the crude oil drilling thing, whatever they do today to extract water and for agriculture, this kind of process is started, which is called as permeability rocks. You know, they have started with the encapsulating polymer encapsulation technology, which is very toxic, and with that they are trying to, and using the alkali solvents also, that they are trying to take out a lot of water. You know, whenever there is water is not coming out by the drilling of borewells, that they have started using this kind of technology, which was used for the actually crude oils. Now we are going for the worst kind of situation. But see, war did not happen for water in that manner. But you remember now that recently this Pahalgam thing happened, and that how water, political water crisis started, and weaponizing started by weaponizing of water. We did. Like, you know, in 1987, the Indus Water Treaty, which was suspended, you know, because India is an emotional country. They always thinks of other. So that is why when there was UN cry that Pakistan was thinking that their water will be reduced, so they had stopped this under Indus Water Treaty. They had suspended, doing any kind of reviving of the Tulbul project in Jammu Kashmir. That means that today whatever we are doing with the Jhelum river water, we are trying to now divert and making project. This Tulbul navigation project only is now revived, which was stopped, and now it is being revived. So you can understand now the control of water to any country, that is what is we call it as weaponizing of water. Similarly, in Israel also you can see the weaponizing of water, where Palestinian people are forced to live on the side of the sea. Here some maps I have shown, which is actually not clear because too many things I had to show at a time. So I thought that I will put a little bit of pictures and I will make you all understand about it. So the Palestinian people are now forced to live on the side of the sea water, and they are not getting to use the drinking water. They have to use the sea water. So they have to boil and drink. And lot Libya, Russia, and Ukraine fight also on the water infrastructure and dismantling the water infrastructure, by which, you know, people will get affected more and more. So weaponizing of water is happening in this manner. Another way of, you know, weaponizing, I should not call, but this is a kind of inter-state and intra-state kind of a situation, which is also existing in India. I'll take you through the California's Owen Valley. Now see, this is California's Owen Valley, where there is Owen's Lake and Mono Lake is there, okay, and Colorado River. But Los Angeles state is taking away through the aqueduct system. They are taking away all water from one city to the other city, almost 223 miles away through these pipes, because industrialization is more there. But this area is all of agriculture, and this area is now becoming completely dry. So I have been as a Fulbright there, and before that 2-3 times I've been, and I've been to all these areas and I've conducted study. So I can tell you how mockery will happen as we go further also. What we are calling it as our development, and today Tesla and many other companies are coming to our country, and we feel that we are becoming developed, and we are getting economically more sound. I'll show you why they are coming and how our water system will be now encroached completely, and most of the countries come to us when there is they need water use, and they are not allowed in their country at that places, then they try to come to our countries. Now giving an example of this, already I've actually explained to you about Nepal. Now in Nepal also one more treaty, that is Mahakali Treaty, which was there in 1996 for water agreement concerning integrated development of river Kali. Now this river Kali dispute is going on between India and Nepal, that they say that Kalapani region, from where this river originates, it belongs to Nepal, says it belongs to us, and India says that it is in Uttarakhand, Pitrogar in our region. So that is why that treaty is, that agreement is not going ahead, and the water distribution is not happening. So this is also one of the kind. Now China, recently you must have heard about Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra's water is also being controlled by China. Now they have started making 170 billion amount a dam near Arunachal Pradesh. Now that has sparked a kind of alarming situation in Arunachal Pradesh where they are mostly doing agriculture. And now in this map you can see at the upstream areas. Now this is the Yalong Tasanko where they are trying to make a dam. So in the upstream only, if there is a dam, the flow of water will be affected downstream. You can see Brahmaputra here. So in Assam and Guwahati region, all the water will be affected. You can see such type of cascading dams they have started making. Actually they have announced for 8 cascading dams and they have started with it. And when 5 cascading dams. So when they will start with such a dams more in number, the flow rate will be affected and ultimately flow channels will be affected and displacement, flooding and all those things will happen because nothing will be controlled in our hand and data also we will be losing. Today we have at least we share the data for data analysis of all these floods and all. Now I'm coming to the geopolitics of the Farakka Barrage. We know that Farakka Barrage was also built for the navigation purpose of Bengal's,
Madam,
on the
may I disturb you, madam? Please.
Yes,
The slide, first slide is only seen till now. No slides are moving, and we are putting messages.
Oh, but then why nobody said to me?
In chat box already we are posting the messages.
Oh, I am not able to see the chat box.
Okay, sorry.
I had asked in the beginning itself. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Let me check what is gone wrong.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah. Because this here I can see it is moving in the slideshow. But when I'm clicking here, it is not moving. But when I am enlarging, that time only I'm able to see. Can you see my slide now?
Now it is seen, madam. Now the present slide is seen.
Oh. So I have to actually, maybe I have to click between both. Like I am able to click it from the main this thing and okay. Anyways, now you are able to see first one or the same one.
Now the present one it is seen, madam.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. You should have spoken it earlier. So good pictures have gone.
I thought of that it's my own device problem, but after observing, checking all the things, and I started messaging, madam.
I'm very sorry for that. I'm very sorry for that.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. So this Farakka Barrage also the same story that due to the 109 gates which are there and on the sedimentation which occurred, how in Farakka region sedimentation erosion started, but at the same time water distribution which was supposed to go to Bangladesh and Bihar also keeps crying that they don't get water. Bangladesh is also having the same problem. West Bengal also had to deal with a feeder canal again they had to make to create to the Hooghly region. So these are the kind of through the geopolitics what things have happened. How do I now go back? Yes. Can you see the picture now?
Yes, madam.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that means it's moving. Then it's moving. Yeah. So in this picture itself shows that with the bank construction, how in 1886, one side only this sedimentation was on the left side, and how it started to the right hand side. You will see with these satellite images, and I tell you, it is very easy to find all these historical things with the help of. Why now it's okay. Yeah, with the help of Google Earth, you will get to see all these things. See, here it was all on the left bank, and now it has started in the right bank in 2014. So because of these kind of erosion, and you can see the channel how it got. Is it moving now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is moving.
Okay, good. So you can see that how the channels got, this Ganga channel also got impacted, and when it will be moving, because see Ganga has to move, and because of its movements, today the erosion which we find, and recently when we had gone along with this Manchester University's knowledge exchange program, and when we went to certain regions, we understand that the gates of the Farakka, they are now opening only on the right hand side, few gates, 5 gates they are opening, and that is why more of erosion we could see on the right side. So much with the authorities also, so much wrong decisions which are being made, and it is impacting all over the place. So Shamsherganj bank erosion which is happening more and more today. It is only because of the gates which are being opened only from the right side and few gates, and that's why more of bank erosion, or what they call it as katan, which is happening. So this is the situation in the region. And when we went, to the different people, how they do their livelihood and all, we try to find out that in such situation, which is, every year there is floods. But yes, people said that floods have reduced, but the erosions is continued. Floods, because that there is a lot of today Afan and many other kind of cyclones which had come in these places. Now cyclones, remember, they are also increasing today because of ocean getting contaminated with all our sewage system, which is released indirectly into the sewage. We will come to the sewage also, how it is happening, that I will tell you, that how cyclones are also becoming more and more vigorous. So that is the situation. Then we try to understand how they are doing with their livelihood. Again, the industries and others come into picture to help them, but the local government, there is not much help. So how they survive, what is their livelihood, and all those things needs to be studied. I would request most of the institutions which have joined, their professors, students. Today, it is very, very essential. Whether you are studying sociology, philosophy, economics, ecology, or anything, you please connect it to these subjects only. You will find that very well you are able to get clarity of your subject. Even if it is commerce, if it is arts, or any kind of a thing, you can always connect to these kind of topics, and you will get solutions. And in fact, these situations will get solution. And we have to create the solutionaries, not just getting degrees with just learning within the four walls. Instead, when in new education policy, it is said about a community oriented research participation, we have to make it more and more community oriented, and that's how we have to learn. Now you can see here I'm showing about the Farakka Dulyan area, Parlalpur, and systematically in Dulyan, see, all sewage is being released into the river Ganga. Then ultimately this river Ganga, as it flows through, you can understand it is taking it to the oceans. So you just imagine all these sewage, if it is directly released into the river, ultimately it goes to the it goes to the ocean. Now our creek regions, our delta region, every region is getting affected because of the pollutants reaching there. And most importantly, today in our sewage, which we call it as domestic grey water or black water, today that has not remained as grey or black water. Remember, a lot of chemicals also getting added, because there is lot of cosmetics and other things having so much of chemicals in one house. If we see, different people have different taste of paste, or say shaving creams, or say face creams, or say cleanser. Many things are there. So much of chemicals, including that even chemical industries, small industries units are there, which are releasing the water directly into the sewage system. So treating the sewage is also become a very difficult task, and that is how our rivers, and even government is channelizing it very systematically to the rivers, which is very wrong thing. And we have to oppose. The local schools, colleges, and everyone have to take an interest and make it aware to the government, convincing with the data, facts, and all, studying about the biodiversity, how fishes are reduced, how fish capture is got reduced, livelihoods affected. By all these means, we have to bring to the notice of ULBs, local urban local bodies, as well as local bodies, to make them understand about what kind of decisions needs to be taken. So these are the, we had made the visit to the Farakka Barrage, all places with all kinds of politicians, and we have to understand, we have to connect to all kinds of stakeholders when we do conduct any kind of study. So you can see we had Kalyan Rudraji, we are going since almost 5-6 years, that pollution has to be stopped, because he being at the helm of affair as the chairman of the Pollution Control Board, and already identified the discharge points. But if identifying the discharge points, but not able to treat it with the help of Namami Ganges, a lot of funds is there, and lot of capacity building funds and other funds are there, but nothing is yet done. So I recently done a meeting also with the Namami Ganges secretary, this Nandini Ghosh and others, and even again met Kalyan Rudra at Kolkata, as well as to Niti Ayog member and executive director of Namami Gange. See, we have to keep our mission in such a manner that we have to keep meeting the authorities at the right place. We have to take our studies, we have to talk. Just what we are doing in the academic and research institutions is, we are doing study, but we are doing it only for the sake of publication, putting it in the journal or for our placements or other these kind of a thing, but not for use of the data in the local way, so that some local solutions can be arised out of it. Now, this was the recent one when we had also conducted a study in the Atrai River when we went in this region also. This Atrai dam, here you can see a dam which was constructed in North Bengal. This is the Dinajpur, and this dam was, this is again in the demand of the public. See, public also should not demand in such a manner or make you and cry that the political people also take mileage and they go for any kind of a dam. When I went there, that time itself, I had made it clear to this Atrai group of people, those who were also there in our team of this Manchester University study, that I had said that within few days you will see that this dam will vanish away. And recently I heard that this is already broken. Reason is that when they found that in this Bangladesh that they are making some tire dams at the upstream, they wanted that we also want to control our this river, and then they started making this particular dam. Whereas you can see that there is not enough water also throughout the year. It's not as good as that you should have a dam. And even if you want to have something which will have some kind of some check dam sort of, where the design also should be such that it is able to give a bypass also. Here I saw that completely it was concretized up to almost 5 to 6 meters here, both the sides, and it was when this siltation happened, and now with the mockery that some people taking in basket these silts and removing the silts. So such type of mockeries happen. But the local wisdom which is there, I saw with the local wisdom, they are putting small such type of kind of a sheets, plastic sheets, or plastic sheets which they put by stopping the water and then using for the agriculture, as well as small this kind of temporary bridges with bamboo which they use it for actually. When I'm putting it in the slideshow, probably you all are not able to see, so these pictures are now become very small. I don't know whether you are able to see the bamboo bridges which I'm showing, and the plastic obstruction which they are putting to control the water. Are you able to see these pictures which I'm trying to show?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's
Okay. Now I'm showing the thing which I had said few minutes back, that why foreign countries, most of the companies are now coming to India, and we call it as we are very happy. So many companies coming, multinational companies coming. We will be getting job. We will be economically developed. We will be counted in economic development countries. Now see here in San Francisco, when I saw in San Francisco there are this Coca-Cola company and all, and this lady, this particular gentleman, they are all agriculturists and all activists. They are asking Coca-Cola company to go away from there. And in their country, most of the places wherever these companies go, they start drilling, because see, when Coca-Cola, one bottle of Coca-Cola means 7 buckets of water they require to make that. So in that case, they keep on drilling, groundwater drilling they keep on doing. And even what I said about the reverse boring, that also happens. And that is how, and even Tesla and these all these Intel and this all computerized companies, chips companies and all, they require a lot of water, heating process and all those things, and there is a lot of chemicals which then go in the groundwater. So that is why the local people are taking objection, and hence these companies now have very nicely thought of going ahead with going to the different country. Like earlier also in our country, what used to happen, that crude oil ballast water, if you have heard about the ballast water, the crude oil, that is when the ship comes to our country, the country cargo ships which are there, they will carry some cargo crude oil or anything that they will be shipping to different place, and when they will go back, they will come to India for washing in Gujarat coast and all. This was happening since a very long time. Still it is happening. So and in India we don't have such strict rules that it is not allowed that any company can come, wash or release such kind of a water. Then they will keep, for the balance purpose, they will carry water from here, clean and carry water from here. So there is no check in all these things. So that is why it is very important. We have to understand, in the name of development and these companies coming, multinational coming, but it is like fooling all of us. So similarly in Arizona and all these places, let me tell you, Tesla, Ford, General Motors, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Walmart, Amazon, Intel, Apple, Microsoft, all these companies in these all areas in San most of the places such companies are there, but now slowly they are not allowed, and even now these companies move to the places where surface water scarcity is there, and then they take over those places, then extract groundwater, and again when the groundwater is also not enough, then they try to move to different countries, finding out place where more water they will get. Now, in the same manner, I'm now again coming back to river rejuvenation things. Now, I showed you the pipeline in which Los Angeles, from California, Los Angeles is taking away water. Now, this is a place in Maharashtra. This, in the name of temple tourism, see, there is a Shiv Mandir temple, historical Shiv Mandir in Ambernath. If you Google search, you will find. This is called, here you can see a pipeline here. This is actually a Valdhuni river on which I put a NGT, and now NGT has given a verdict that they have to dismantle all these things, and my advices which I have given, they have to take care and they have to release this. But what they have done, that in the upstream there are some textile units which is completely polluted this river, as well as the local AMC, that means municipal council, which is releasing the sewage. So here the river becomes totally black in color. The politicians have declared it as a drainage, and they have put this in this pipeline instead of treating the river. That means instead of stopping those textile units at the upstream and treating the sewage water, they have started punishing the river, putting it into this pipeline. Can you imagine कि हमारा दिमाग हमारा सब कहाँ जा रहा है आज हम अपने आप को इतना इंटेलेक्चुअल कहते हैं. I just say that if we want to see river rejuvenation, we have to just leave them alone. If human interference is stopped, automatically we'll see that our rivers have become totally good. COVID already is an example where we could see how environment had become totally very good with the even atmosphere becoming so clear and environment so clean and all. See, all number of ghats and all being made without doing any kind of hydrology, hydraulic study, and all over the places, all the rivers, all river beds are being concretized, and the river is taken to the sewage system. I'll show you the sewage system also. And see, when we are talking about SDGs, we talk about SGT talk, and at the same time we are weaponizing ecology. Today, whatever the Ukraine and other this war which is going on everywhere, there it is all about the weaponizing of ecology. Now ecosystem is totally getting affected. We talk about the SDG 6, that is clean water and sanitation. Already I said about how things are happening in Israel and many other countries. Everywhere things are very bad. Even in our country also we are seeing the sewage. These are all corporate houses, those who say that they have solution for the sewage treatment, they don't have. See, here I'm also trying to show you some CETP, that is Central Effluent Treatment Plants. Look at the plants which are there. These are the STPs, ETPs, CETPs. But these are all flawed designs. Actually, fortunately, as I was Fulbright scholar in residence in America, New York, I could conduct a research on 286 million gallon Manhattan city's sewage treatment plant, and to the world and the global review we did, and we showed to the world what is wrong in the conventional sewage treatment plants. The designs totally is wrong, and what needs to be done, I will show you further. That if we have to do the rejuvenation, what kind of a study we need to do, what kind of a things we have to do. Now see, just last year we could see that in the Hindon River, which was not having water even, but after 48, 45 years there was flood. And in this region there is a lot of companies which had come, and with the companies all kinds of pollution, that is flood impacted this area. And most of the places, even as I already have explained about how rivers are becoming dried, and because only during the rainy season we see water in the rivers. And today, even when I was talking to you about the temple tourism, there also their idea is they have put the water in the river water in the pipe, but they want that the sewage treated water will be flowing through through the ghat, so that people can take anchan and they can make a dip. Just imagine where our mind and intellectual power is going. We have become mad in the race of calling ourselves as a developed countries, and everywhere borel. Now this Living Planet reports, you people must see. The Living Planet reports every 2 years it comes, and it says at what rate that the abundance of monitored wildlife population, average 69% decline in the relative abundance of the monitoring wildlife population around the world is from 1970 to 2018 it has happened. 69%. And even see, while freshwater species population have greatest overall global decline, 83%, because you can see the condition of river and even the condition of, now this is about the river. In ocean also, coral bleaching and all is happening because of acidification and all. So I'll skip some of the things about which I've spoken. Now see, almost 1.7 million tons that this our sewage is daily generated. And above all, if we see that about this just a minute, yeah, okay, I'll just skip some few because it is otherwise going to be too long. Now I'm talking about the STPs, okay, because we need to understand STPs. You know that in Prayagraj also we were hearing about how water is clean and Ganga, everybody was dipping, and later again now it is now come to know that there is STP was not working and the water was contaminated, all those stories and all. Now in Mumbai also and everywhere, let me tell you, the STPs are being built in the residential areas, like tower system. Actually, they are most of the time it is linear system. I'll show you how the linear system also. But now it is now tier system they are going on making. But although there is no result, again I repeat, although there is no result, that these kind of designs are going on and on. And see, this is called as the linear system. Now there are such type of big tanks are there, 5-6. If you have gone to my live streaming every day which I do of the STPs, you must have seen how I'm showing about the STPs, what they are. And when they are such an open system of treatment, there is a lot of aerosols in the air which is not being monitored by CPCB or MPCB. When they are doing air monitoring, that is not being done. Now see, Powai Lake, this Powai Lake, you can see a complete lake is become silted, and we have so many, the 3 more such type of completely, and almost here I'm not able to see the picture, it's very light because I'm not able to enlarge it. So only 20% water is remain and 80% is become silted. That means where we can create our water print, we have to do that. You also try to identify the water bodies, try to desiltate, try to ensure that hyacinth should not be removed. First it has to be desilting, and the sewage diversion which should happen, because today every lake, every river, that everywhere this ULBs are trying to release the discharge the sewage into it. Now we conducted a study along with that if at all such aerosols are released, how it is impacting the temperature rise and the cloud formation. And from that we come to know that how today erratic rains are happening. So y'all can also conduct such type of studies. It is very easy. You go to the YouTube, you will get ArcGIS, you will get artificial intelligence with the machine learning. It's very easy today to detect all these things, and easily interconnectedness can be built. You can understand that when such type of situation happens and such type of sewage open systems are there, that how temperature rise is happening in that area, then atmospheric rainfall, how it happens, like cloudburst, how it is happening today. At one time a lot of water comes down at a time is happening. Now see Mumbai. Now Mumbai, you can see here a STP being built within the river blue line itself. Here you can see the walls. Now they have put all the soil inside it to make this one, and they have completely encroached upon the river and dried it and making this. And besides it, you can see a big tower. There is no buffer zone left. So that is the reason today. We are at the coastal area. We are in the we have a 75% coastal area near us, and although our municipal corporation also says in 2050 it will Mantralaya, our administrative building, all will be almost 50% submerged. But while taking decisions of this kind of an implementation of any kind of solution for treatments and all, they are such a wrong kind of a decision being taken. So all these studies we need to conduct. See, this way it is open system. Now this is the wastewater treatment system I'm showing of the Manhattan city. such big tanks, 286 million gallon means you can imagine this is in almost 500 acres of land this is spread. So when I ask this, the people, in America, it is the universities who take charge of all these infrastructures and they are given to study. When I ask the professor that what about you people are so careful and in every house you have air monitoring system, so why don't you do air monitoring of this? And there is a lot of, because there was a dirty smell, and besides this there is all sports academy places. So when I asked, he said, no, this is to do with the water treatment, not with the air treatment, so we are not bothered. Can you imagine such a kind of a mockery? And by the civil engineering department and all, they are doing this, and ultimately they feel that they are right. And in the tertiary tank, you can see, this is the tertiary tank, there you can see this denitrification not happening, nitrification not happening. So you can understand the tertiary water itself is very much pathogenic, and it is releasing water into the river east, which is in the vicinity of this. And there are sludge which is being carried, sludge, lot of sludge generation. Sludge means which is remaining in the after the fecal matter which is sedimented, that is removed and then it is transported. Can you see such big vessels? And then with the hypochlorite they feel that they will treat it too. And this ship, it carries it to one of the place, Alabama it was carrying earlier. There is a train which goes to Alabama also, with all this poop of this Manhattan and other cities. Now that Alabama people also have put a case in Supreme Court and many courts that they have stopped allowing these things to come to them, because in their area a lot of diseases were arising. And this is how things are going very wrong. So some I will skip. I did a lot of activities there also to make people understand river restoration projects, and then this sewage treatment. This is now back to India. In Indore city also I've conducted audits of the rivers and the STPs. Everywhere situation is same. See here, now if we are if we are got bugged up that where we have to run, if I want justice, we run to the high court, that we want justice, that our lakes and rivers are getting dried and they are encroached upon. Now here in Pipiliana, in Indore, this Pipiliana lake itself is encroached by the High Court building. See, complete High Court building is coming up. And this Pipiliana lake is completely polluted, and now it is being recharged with the help of the sewage treated water. So here they have built a sewage treatment plant, and sewage treated water is released to this, and they are saying that we are restoring back the lakes. So this is what mindless work we are going on doing. Similarly, in Bangalore city, I conducted study on Arkavati river, and you can see this is the major water resource in Bangalore city, P.G.D.E.M dam. This is got completely contaminated. You can see bacteria and algal blooms which are there. Cyanobacteria which impacts on our neural system. So that is grown so much because of the sewage, which is, what happens if suppose our district is producing, any place is producing 100 mld of sewage, but only 10 mld is being treated. So what is the use if 90 goes like that? And then we have constructed these kind of infrastructure for 400, 500 crores, and even in operation and maintenance again 5, 6 annually, or more than that 20 crores annually we are giving. What is the use of such infrastructure when we are treating the water and again releasing the treated water also? Because if it is 500, 400 mld or 30 mld also, all that water they are again releasing back into this river which is already dirty. So do you think it is anyway justified that such a big water treatment plant there, but ultimately this TG Halli reservoir is completely polluted? And one more thing I can say, that industries are making money today. That's how we all are also doing. We are buying water. Every one of us is buying water today, or purifiers and all. So it's a big industry it has become. So we can understand how things are now not going much more deeper, because here I was trying to show how our ocean is getting impacted by the sewage. More of nitrogen, phosphates and sulfate, and then that is becoming more and more in the sewage, and that is impacting the cooling impact in our this El Nino effect which is happening, and this kind in our oceans, how warmer water to the cooler water where it is moving, but then today that movement is also affected in the equators. So this is how things are totally taking big disturbance it is. And if I get, then I would give these kinds of details also to all of y'all. But for time being now, to give it a rest, and I would take some questions also. Yes, this I was searching for this particular graph where you can see that CPCB themselves say that in our country, almost out of as many number, 1200 sites visited, only 20% is operational and 80% is non-operational. That means that it's not producing any kind of result. But still we are going ahead with such kind of a treatment plans. Now, cyanobacteria, which I was just talking about, the neurotoxin, we have heard about Stephen Hawking's condition. So that is the condition which happens. And in one lake, again, I have put an NGT where this situation will arise very soon. I will be able to see in one of the municipal corporation. So for that, I have conducted a very detailed study of the water, that I will show what is that study, where you will be knowing that what actually we need to do when we have to conduct study of the water system. Now, this slide shows that I was talking about the Pukur system sort of, but now you can see that how a system has to be managed and how this microclimate means every drop of water has to enter the soil. And today what is happening, because of the concrete impervious surface, it is becoming a dead soil and ultimately it is becoming into floods. But if it goes to the soil, then streams, then rivulets, then river, lakes, floodplains, all these things can be maintained. This system can be maintained. But otherwise, today what is happening? It is floods and rivulets and going to the oceans, directly going to the ocean. So runoff it is there. Now, most important is if we have to, if we require to treat also, we should think about treatment with the, what I said about the hyacinth, that is like a blue carbon rhizomes with these roots which are there. They have a lot of bacteria in them, and then there is a kind of exchange of, it is like a bioreactor. There is a lot of biochemical reaction which happens, and ultimately treatment happens with the redox potential and the oxygen which is released by the redox potential, that the in the process of oxygenation, or say the treatment of or the degradation of sewage happens. So this is how it is. Almost this is done. I'm going to skip. Yeah, in Maharashtra we have a system of cadre building. In there is a GR where actually I'm also called as a Jalnayak. Now you can see now it has rose to 24. When we were declared as the Jalnayak, we were only 7. Then there are Jal Yodha. You can see at the state level there would be Jalnayaks, Jal Yodhas at the Vibhag region level. At the district level there are Jal Premi. Then Jaldut at the Taluka level, Jal Sevaks at the Gram Panchayat level. So this is kind of a cadre building which we do across Maharashtra, and that is why 120 rivers at a time now under the name Chala Januya Nadila. That means let's know our river. So that is a campaign which is going across Maharashtra, and for the Amrit Mahotsav, that this is being celebrated, and almost this river rejuvenation work is going on. And this is how my college students, they had started with the NSS students are trained for testing, soil testing at the places they go and do the things, rainwater harvesting testings, then rainwater calculations, and all those things they keep propagating to people, and they are going on encouraging Jal Sathis then. And you can see such large mobs and the river march they keep on doing. So such all activities is needed, because awareness is also required. Along with awareness, we need to conduct research. Now, this kind of a video which has been created, video giving all the history and how today the river has become a river Kamwari, on which I'm working in the Bhiwandi area. It was once upon a time a port area. Today it is converted to Nala. So through a video we are trying to show that how a port area is converted to a Nala completely. So this is how, and then this is the area I'm trying to show that with the help of all awareness and interventions, I could, you go to my live streaming, you will see that this area is completely taken by builders, Raheja builders in our area, in Mumbai area. But this is a forest land, but they had tried to show that this is a private land, and this private land is given to Raheja builders and many other builders. They have put a lot of extortion cases on me, but through RTI, I have RTI and police cases and all. I have tried to save this from 2007 till date, and today we can see a lot of deers, leopards, snakes, birds, insects, many different types of birds. They keep coming. They keep coming to my house also, but talking to me and all that. So I'm very happy. And this is the stream of origin of Walbhat Oshivara River, which I could save, and that was the main motive behind saving this particular area, so that I can also save a river which is also making a major river, Oshivara River. So this is how you people also can do, and this is what we are trying to propagate instead of what you saw, the sewage system, which is such a big infrastructure, as I said, 400 crores, and then again operational cost, and so big area open where there is all contamination. But this is what is called as a wetland system or soil biotechnology system, where through the intervention of soil and gravels, gradients, that through the plants, when the sewage is being flown through this, automatically through the soil bacteria and the sewage bacteria's harmony and symphony, that a lot of this bioreactions or the bioreactor works in that manner. There is no sludge generation, that it has to be again transported to different places. No sludge generation. When you vegetables, flowers are so big size and so many in numbers and all. This you can see even in Mayapur, one plant is there small, and even in Govardhan Biko village and many other places they are there. You can visit and enjoy these places, and the treated water is being reused for many purpose and even in the agriculture. So this is more of a very deeper. This I was trying to tell you that today I have gone to the level that I have started doing metagenomics. Because today we have so technology, the kind of infrastructure which I showed in Bangalore, Indore, and even in case of America, which I showed, they are all conventional STPs. And what I showed just now about SBTA, wetland systems and others, they are recent ones. And this is we are able to do because of identifying the bacteria in the sewage, what kind of it, and the combinations with the help of metagenomics. And even I've gone to the most advanced one. And probably in India, first time I have done a complete of a lake and a river, as well as a shotgun method, which is for the first time done by me. See, when I say done by me doesn't mean that I'm claiming that I'm the best one. Not that way. Just to tell you that this has started, like a beginning has been done. Now, I mean to say that way, that a beginning has been done. So anybody require any help, please come to me. Don't get carried away by anybody saying anything. You have to go to such a masters that who will be able to give you right kind of an understanding what to do, where to do, and where to get these kind of assessment also done. There are today NBL labs and many national labs and others. They are also asking, madam, what average you want and all. That means all manipulations for the industries, for the corporations, everywhere. MPCB, that means pollution control boards, are also in Maharashtra also, and everywhere they are giving all manipulated analysis reports. And if you go to their websites also, that is why you will find that everything normal they will show. So that is the reason I have to mention here. I have started doing. Please come to us. We will do things together. There is a lot of scope. So that is why today I am working with all the IIT Bombay interns, because I stay nearby to IIT Bombay. So that's how I have taken them. I have brought some devices, that is probes and sensors from America while coming here. Even I have ordered from here multi-probes and all. And with the help of that, instantly, spontaneously, we do the testing and all, and we find out what is the status of the river. But if you ask the pollution control board, they will come with some drums and all. They will carry that, they will send it to the lab. Then after 2-3 months, they will give you some analysis report, but they are not the right one. So we actually require such kind of a regular monitoring system in our rivers and water bodies, so that 24 hours monitoring is happening. And with this, easily the people, those who are polluting, they can be identified and they can be penalized. See, there is growing climate litigation. Litigations are also going on increasing. Myself, as I said, I never wanted to go, but I have started going, because after doing so much of study, exchanging with the government, like even I went to about this STP, when I went to our additional commissioner P.G.D.E.M of municipal corporation, when I said our STPs are not good and this is not going to give us result, he said, madam, pehle fail to ho jane do, baad mein aapka baat sunenge aur aapse sunenge ki kya galat hua. So you can understand about the mindset, and that is why then ultimately I have to approach the new National Green Tribunal for showing that timely we have been interjecting, or say we have been intervening, or say we are trying to help, convince, and trying to teach science, but people are not ready, who are the decision makers and the implementers. इस शहरों का ग्राउंड वाटर खत्म होने वाला है, ऑलरेडी खत्म है, I will say. And that's how everywhere we see drought condition immediately after the rains, because even percolation condition of our soil, our agricultural lands and other lands have reduced to the extent with the help of the chemical fertilizers, because many companies have come forward to help these agriculture farming doing and all, and then taking away their all harvest, and that's how chemicals are there. So you have to use RTIs. I see in West Bengal, whenever I ask, not 1%, and even across the country also, whenever I ask, rarely anybody is using this. And I very often used to get all important information, and with that I get to understand what is the right picture, and then I go ahead with taking action against those authorities, and then doing some research and all. That is the way we have to go ahead, and Constitution has given us this right, and this gives us so much power, like a President of India, Prime Minister of India. Nobody can stop us from asking any. Please go through, teach to students also how to use rightly RTI. This is also very important. So there it ends. I say, if you don't do the things timely, like today in the rivers, so there is no water remains, so you can see the tears falling, so that will be only the river left. So that is how things are going to be. And as I always say, when your passion and purpose are greater than your fears and excuses, you will find a way. And that's what I keep doing. So thank you so much. You have heard me. Any questions? I would love to take questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this enlightening and thought-provoking speech. And we extend our heartfelt thanks and acknowledgement for giving us your auspicious time, ma'am.
Now I'll see the chat box if I can get any questions and all.
Yes, ma'am. Now.
Any questions and all, I am trying to.
Yes, ma'am. There is a question, ma'am.
Rajiv, your voice is again not good. You are not audible.
Ma'am, now I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, yes. You have written to people for queries, but I don't see any queries is there.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So, if anyone has any questions or queries,
Can I have? Yes.
Please feel free
or
to.
Not necessarily queries. Even if any remark, if anything you want to share, your views or anything, any views, anything anybody would like to share, just not questions. Any views also, that would be helpful.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So please unmute the mic and ask your queries or anything that, or you can type your questions into the message box also, and we will make sure to address them. And ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we have some questions, ma'am. So.
Yes.
Ma'am,
yes, please
Bhagavan,
go ahead. If you have questions, I'm ready to.
Ma'am,
okay,
Bhagavan,
how can development take place without polluting the natural resource when India is the most? Yes, yes, yes. Shall I read or you will read the questions for me?
Ma'am, Bhagavan Kaur has asked a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, he asked, what is the permanent solutions of the water damage?
Permanent solution.
Yes, ma'am.
Permanent solution. Is that the question is over or it is further question is there?
It is over, ma'am.
Okay. So see, for our permanent, if you see, permanently if we want any solution, first of all, we have to change our behavior, attitude and habits towards the rivers, towards the nature, because we are the one who is totally ignoring the fact that we are the biggest polluters and we are the biggest culprit. So we have to change our habits to all nature-based solutions. We have to go for the eco-friendly products. We have to stop throwing garbage outside. We have to start segregation. We have to do the segregation and disposal of garbage at source. course, we have to learn all kinds of practices, sustainable practices, which can be done within our premises, housing societies, and all. And that is only the way for the permanent solution, I can say. And more awareness needs to be there. Then you will say that, madam, we can do this at our home level, at our residence level. How do we stop the companies? See, let us first do from ourselves. Today only you sit and try to evaluate yourself, what you do, and how we are polluting the water bodies, and what we are teaching to our students, and what we are doing in our college or in our society, and all these things. Every one of us have to think about that. Unless we do that, I don't think we will be able to stop any kind of pollution in the river. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि हमारे अंदर की river, the river which is flowing within us, that needs to be first clean. बाद में हम बाहर की river को clean करना चाहिए. So we have to first internalize the things, and we have to learn how to behave with the rivers, how to behave with the, even we don't mind that even if leakage is there in my house in any tap, even if my flush 12 liters at a time I'm flushing, we have to stop all these kind of things. While doing bathing, we are using showers and all. Today is the time we have to change our habits. And what we do is being imbibed by our children, grandchildren, and all. So we have to take all these steps today. Even when I went to different universities, classrooms, and offices, I have seen that everywhere so much of ignorance and so much of carelessness, irresponsible behavior, and all that is going on. So it starts from me. So that is only the way I see. Yes, next question.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is from Shivam Pratap ji. Ma'am, he asked, is there any solution for overcoming such challenges?
As I already said, there is only solution. It starts from us. And to overcome, as I said, all solutions were there in my presentation itself. That first you start doing from yourself, evaluating. Secondly, wherever you are staying, you please try to adopt some small system, anything, any small water body. Even you can start from a well or a bore well or a water body or some hill or something, whichever it is. You start studying and you start working on it. And then, as I said, with the interconnectedness example I gave you about the Powai Lake, we started with the Powai Lake investigation because Powai Lake is the biggest lake, but for 100 years this lake is not been at all used for potability. And in the vicinity of it, IIT Bombay, such a big number one institution of India, is there. And above all, they have chemical, environmental, mechanical, civil department, everything is there. But I go to my live streaming, you will find, I found from inside only when I went, complete encroachment, pollution, exploitation, everything is happening by the institute itself. And not a single student is doing study on this water body. And they will say that we are approaching the municipal corporation, we want to study and some funding and all. Whereas you can understand alumni, so much backup is there for this institution with so much of funding. But funding is absolutely not required, what I feel. Just now, as I said, every subject can be taught in alignment with this particular lake if they do. What I did recently with this 5-6 IIT interns I have, with the help of them, I conducted the study, and completely we could do a complete detailed study of the Powai Lake, where we found that, as I showed, that 80% is siltation, and because of siltation, now this IIT Bombay is going on encroaching with the new hostels. All the trees are being cut there. That trees and debris is also being put inside the this lake, and they have made up for the boat club. They have made a road inside that lake wherever little water is there. So boating club. They have made 2 tabelas with almost more than 200 cows, buffaloes there in that, but without having a treatment plant. Their own sewage is not being treated. There is a biogas system and treatment plant, but it is not functioning. It is totally stopped from, I don't know how long it is stopped. So these are the way things are going wrong. So we have to make a study, we have to engage, and then we have to do in the interconnectedness. As I said, with the aerosols. Then we studied about how it is impacting temperature, then temperature, how it is impacting the cloud formation, how this cloud formation impacting the rainfall. So it is in the complete this thing that in the round that we have to go do the study of a microclimate. Any small system you take and conduct a study. It is, I tell you, nothing is like a challenge. Challenge is only to make the behavior change of the people. That is the biggest challenge which I am seeing, and that's the reason I make an attempt wherever I get an opportunity to speak. I keep interacting. I go to several places. Recently, I was invited by IIT Kanpur to take a session in the International World Congress of International Engineering Asset Management. There also in Delhi, I could show them by small Yamuna clipping. I showed that there is such a lot of advancement in asset management, devices, motors, and everything. There is a lot of advancement by which you can keep a monitoring. But if all these things are there, then why Yamuna is like that in our capital itself? And whenever it comes to, abhi politics ke time pe bola ki Yamuna will be clean, and then there is so much of now cruise and this and that will be going. But first you think about where you are going to put your sewage. And that is the biggest challenge, that country doesn't want that like this ingenious biggest challenge. If you ask me, the challenge is that engineers are going ahead with making all infrastructure development in our country and across the globe, but minus biological science understanding. The day they will have biological science and engineering understanding together, with complete biological science understanding, they will design and make the process that way. I think we will be overcoming the challenges. Yes, next question. I hope I have
Thank you.
answered that. Who was that, Shivam? Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yes, next question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is from Barinder Karji. Ma'am, how can development take place without polluting the natural resources when India is the most populous country today?
That is the very good question. And I love anybody, we have to ask this question to ourselves. That's what I started with. कि हिंदुस्तान पहले दुनिया का गुरु होता था, and that was our Gurukul system and our Vedic culture and traditions. But today, our this Vedic culture and traditions, if you look at, इसीलिए बताते हैं कि the rivers which are there in abroad and India, अब abroad के जहाँ पे rituals और traditions नहीं है, वहाँ की नदियाँ clean है, मगर India की पूरी खराब पड़ी है. Only because the way traditional system was, we are going very far away from it. We have forgotten our Vedic culture, Vedic wisdom. We have forgotten to read all these things. It is vanished from our textbooks from the school level onwards. Otherwise, everything can be so good if it is taught from the childhood, from the early childhood level. That is why when I was in Fulbright Scholar in Residence in America, I started with early childhood center. Instead of going to, actually I was associated with a engineering department and a chemistry and environmental department. But then I started with the early childhood center because I could meet one of the professor who was teaching with puppetry. Then I insisted him that even if the environmental science and nature, love for nature and protection can be taught through puppetry, and we did that experiment, and it was so successful that children enjoyed, their parents enjoyed, and everyone enjoyed. So I must say that the Gurukul system should come back. All the classrooms should happen in the community, as in new education policy it says that all teaching has to be 80% should be in the community and only 20% has to be within the four walls. I think then only we will be able to bring in correctives. But when you say that without polluting natural resources, when India is most populous, so is a lot of methods. Actually, see today, Central Pollution Control Board, if you see their parameters itself is totally wrong. because they also don't look at the biological system and all. I tried to take workshop in the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board because they invited me after coming from America. Then they said, please conduct a workshop for us for industrial development corporations. That means Maharashtra's Industrial Development Corporation, they and municipal corporation. I did that. I taught what should be done for the natural system, like how we can take care, and at the same time how the companies can be run, and what kind of a devices to be put for regular monitoring before we bring in any effluents to the sewage treatment plant or any effluent to the central effluent treatment plant and all. Everything taught, but nothing they want to learn, nothing they want. That is why now us have the centers, and even if CPCB says certain gives a parameter about and they are insisting on putting all the STPs, and they have become the agents. They are only selling all these STPs and all. And if you look at in Maharashtra's website also, and every state, please go to your state also, and in the website you look for, there is a River Rejuvenation Committee. NGT has said from December 2018 that every state should have River Rejuvenation Committee, which has not been formed in many of the states, and it has also given templates and all for a regular quarterly submission of reports from every state, which is not happening. Maharashtra is doing, but Maharashtra is only submitting reports of how many number of STPs have been installed and how many remains to be installed. That means it's a big market bazaar which has been opened, and all wrong and flawed. Means I will tell you one example. In Kolaba, like it is in the Kolaba area in Mumbai, is in the sea coast. Now, when we put a STP there, or even if I talk about the CTP, ETP, that means industrial effluent treatment, in that also, there is always a lot of salt rejections. Like even in the marine area, when it is, there is a like influx of saline water along with the other water. So when there is salinity or saline, the microbes which are there used for the degradation process, they will not work. And even if it is working, we have to know. That's why I talked about metagenomics and shotgun method, because unless I know what is the problem of my this water, what is there in my water, what is the quality of my this incoming water, unless I know that, how do I treat it completely? Today that is not happening at all. Just because CPCB said BOD has to be 8, COD has to be 20, or it should not be beyond 100, any that thing. So design of the this STPs are on that basis, and handwritten manually they do with what is BOD, COD. Why? There is SCADA system of Central Pollution Control Board. Why they are not fitting it to the SCADA? Why not automatically also these things? So all kinds of mockery. Please go to my live streaming. You will get to learn more and more from that, rather than only one session of mine. I do a lot of live streaming where you get to see the actual status wherever, whichever the state of West Bengal also I've covered a lot of areas. Please go to those live streamings and learn from that also. Yes, next question. I hope that is answered.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
population. Yes. When you say population is definitely an issue, but as I said, today everything has to be at source, disposal at source, whether it is solid waste or the wastewater. Everything has to be at source, and reuse and recycling, which is not happening at all. Every building, every house has to practice these things. We are in the name of circular economy, we are doing all mockery. We are not doing reuse, recycle, refuse, reduce. So when we talk of population is not the problem. When population is there, that means lot of workforce is there. This is wrong to say that population is the problem. Population is not the problem, but consumption, consumerization. This is the big problem. Look at our own houses. Each one will have different type of products to use, to eat. So this is what consumption, when the demand is also going on rising. So population has to be, that's why I said we have to work on our behavior, attitude. Once our behavior will change, our habits will change, I think all things is possible. Then population will not be a problem at all. And that's how today, because of our dynamic, diverse population and diversity in our country, that every country wants. Wherever I went, when I go for World Water Council, Africa, Brasilia, and everywhere, wherever we have gone, people want to come to India. They want to associate with us. And if you see, even most of the Americans, they come and conduct study in India only. You talk of now Manchester University comes to India and do the study. Why? We have such a diverse kind of a scope of study, and we ourselves are not doing, and they come, they study, they make books, they publish it, they make everything out of it, and we are not making use of it. Yes, next question.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, next question is from Bignesh RG.
No, you are not audible now.
Ma'am, now am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, next question is from Bignesh RG. For the future, how can we protect the water? It is only depends on the people or government or both.
No, before that, somebody said about the how can we prevent water pollution. You didn't take that question?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is already answered, so I don't. What is question? Can you repeat, please, Rajiv? Again,
Ma'am,
I missed out that.
he asks, for the future, how can we protect the water?
Is it Vignesh you are talking about, ma'am? Future, how can we protect the water? It's only depends on the people or government or both, ma'am.
Yes,
Obviously, it is each individual. All that from beginning I have been repeating the same thing. It is not only government, it is not only people, it is everybody's duty. Each and every individual. We have to learn to, even if one drop, our tap drops, even if when I'm drinking a glass of water, if I want as much, I want that much water. If I take from there, my habit should begin. Even if I'm getting up from the hotel, if I've finished my food and there is some water remaining, drink it. Don't leave it like that. Even food waste should not be there, because now with the water security, we have to talk about food security also, because most of our agriculture land is being converted now for all infrastructure development. Remember this. And that's how we are going for all hybrid kind of this vegetables and other things. Everything is artificially being now done. So we have to think about our food security also in future. Yes, next question.
Hello, ma'am.
I think are the strict policies and proper observations and proper awareness may help to conserve our natural resources. I think Indore is doing the same. My dear, are you from Indore, Shivom Pratap?
Yes, ma'am. I belong to Indore.
Good. So thank you so much for telling me that. But go back to Indore. Indore is announced as the clean city of India. And to tell you the mockery, clean city or anything, when this award or evaluation is done, it is done on the basis of a template which is circulated to everyone. And in that template, how much we can write things, what it is. So if you go to my again live streaming of the Indore city, you will find how I have shown the clean city and what it is. And when officers themselves accept the fact, everywhere there was garbage, in the river water, and even in the water bodies. And not only there, I just if I go back and show the slide, you will get to know that is what Holkar, that temple is there, see in Indore. And Holkar's that there is some small check dam sort of. So if you go there, you will find completely plastics and everything, and full bag to bag full of kachra they keep on throwing into that. And that's how now Indore has put all jali system on this thing, and then a vertical garden system they have done. But that also cannot stop the people, and it's still going on remaining dirty. So
Ma'am, I want to interrupt you.
Yes.
Actually, I'm not talking about the award. That's why I'm not shown any award for Indore. I just want to say that Indore has started on the theme reduce, recycle, and re-synthesize.
I'm aware of that also. I'm coming to that again. Yes, I'm again coming back to that. Dr. Pratap. Yeah, Dr.
Right now, Indore is working a lot, and no garbage is there right now.
Okay. I'm coming to that because I know this is recent development. Very recent disease, and that's how now everybody is trying to take the same person who is doing that there, because waste to energy. Now, because see, people are feeling this waste to energy would help, and even every waste. Now, when we are selecting any technology, I'm aware of this fact that recently they've started, and nowhere a single garbage they can see and all. But when we take any technology, in Delhi, first this technology was adopted. Again, now it is being adopted by Indore. Now, depending upon the technology, how good our complete management of segregation and running this particular technology. You know, like in the beginning, you will see things happening as we will see that it is very clean and all. But when as much days will progress and the people, those who have installed that, they will leave from that place and they will give it that operation maintenance is left to the local people, then we will again talk back Dr. Pratap. This is just new, this is just begun, and that is the reason. This is good, but initiative is taken, that's very, very welcoming, and every state is trying to do the same today, and everywhere it is going on. But only thing is adopting technology and conducting that and operation and maintenance to learn and use that technology for permanent long-term solution, that has to be there. So that is what I was coming to next only. But I said about the awards and all because after that awards only I had gone and I saw the way hyacinth and all is growing in Shipra as well as Khan and Saraswati river, and how Shipra gets again very much contaminated by this mixing of these two water. All those things, all those areas, everywhere I have been. You know, I don't talk anything without having seen or without having gone to any place.
Ma'am, have you visited Indore anytime?
I said already. I had visited. That's it.
Recently you have visited?
No, not within this 5-6 months.
Okay, ma'am, I will invite you.
Yes.
In my international conference, which will be on March.
Sure.
2026 as a keynote speaker.
Sure.
Right, I want to invite you.
Thank you so much.
To be a keynote speaker in my international conference.
Yes.
And we have to interact a lot of things.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you so much. And this was I will tell you, this was an investigation done through Dainik Bhaskar. They have an investigation team. So they had invited, and after our all findings, we had met with the municipal executive officer of this project. Yes.
We will do the same in March 2026. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, next question, or shall we wind up?
Thank you, ma'am. I think...
Stage, Rajiv?
Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So there is no more questions. And ma'am, I think, ma'am, we need more sessions like this, ma'am.
Okay.
And,
thank you so much for that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And ma'am, we have been with us our guide, Dr. Deepak Kumar Singh, sir. Sir?
Yes.
Are you here, sir?
Yes, namaskar, ma'am, and thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. And it was really very thought-provoking and stimulating to think seriously. And really, you have spoken very well, ma'am, and 1.5 hours continuously you have spoken, and we are really blessed. And this information was really helpful to our students, and we are really grateful to you, ma'am. And thank you so much for your giving your time for all of us, and we are really blessed for this lecture, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm obliged.
If anyone over here, you can put something or add something. If you wish to add, please unmute yourself. Okay, Snehal sir.
Yes, Rajiv.
Sir,
yes, Rajiv.
Sir, please tell something, sir, about today's webinar, and then, sir, we will conclude it, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
you so much, Rajiv.
If I can request everybody to put on video now so that I can see the lovely faces those who had joined. Everyone, if they can put on their videos, if that would be possible, I would love that everybody's faces we should be seeing, because I don't know whom I have spoken today. So that's how I feel everybody we should be seeing. Yes, sir, you can continue. By the time everybody will put their...
Thank you, ma'am, for your excellent session. Okay, thank you, ma'am. It was really very fantastic. I have been working with river rejuvenation and degenerations of river, and how to make the rivers for the future generations alive. These thoughts are always going in our mind, and we are associated with this. Such a fantastic deliberation, and you have shown how we are working with the rivers with our attitudes. So one thing I was thinking during hearing you, that there should be one aspect of discussion, sustainable attitudes. So our attitudes not also going to be so sustainable. Something that was going in my mind, that whenever we are making the bridges, to reduce or cut down the expenditure of bridges, we used to make the approach lands more closer near the banks, which is also becoming one very important drawbacks to unlive or to reduce the vivacity of the rivers. Whenever there is any project to be installed, there should be one objective, that there should not be a very nearest approach land, and the bridge should come from a longer distance, and it should away to a longer distance, so that we can make the floodplain so alive. And it is, as we see, that this is the playground of a river. So one thing this way we can do. Again, what you started talking with the swarages. So near the swarages, when it is dumping, it should first be controlled. If it is not being controlled, at least sieving should be there, so that the solid wastes can be thrown off. I have seen in my city, when I was studying with River Mahananda with my research scholar, I visited the places and I found a very good women group. They have termed the name, so far I can remember, this is the women soldiers. And every day for 1 hour they used to spare time to make the buffer areas clean by their hands. So such type of innovations we can take. One important idea that we can implement is the urban buffering, and that should be allocated so fast as possible with the consultation of the urban bodies and other authorities, that urban buffering which will be covered with trees, that up to a distance of 5 to 10 meter from the bank of the rivers, no residential places henceforth will be allowed by the urban development authorities or municipal authorities to go with the residential places. So such type of attitudinal sustainability or sustainable attitudes, if we can implement, ma'am, so the ideas, the very marvelous informations and the very marvelous picturesque discussion taking, I was seeing the entire country in a single screen. Sometime we were switching over to IIT Mumbai, sometime we were switching over to Indore, then we talked about some problems of Farakka barrage. My research was also on the river Ganga bank erosion. By that places I have roamed within the river Ganga for so many times, and you talked about almost many parts of the times, and it is showing a vivid picture that there is some commonalities and there is some uncommonalities. The commonalities is that the treatment plants, the attitude of human being are coming to be so so same for most of the places in the country, and that imbibes the way of thinking to my mind, and that flux to my mind, that we should first go for a sustainable attitude meets or symposia or seminars like that, where with the normal people, the experts and learned societies and a learned group of communities, they will interact with the people, that what type of attitudes we can do. So that I learned from you. Such a illuminative, such a brilliant discussion, ma'am. We are really privileged and honored. I request Rajiv to please make me part of hearing, ma'am,
and in future you please make me the part of your institution. You are doing very well. My best wishes and congratulations to all. I want to be very much thankful to Deepak sir. I have not been met with you earlier, but this is the first time I have heard you. My regards to both of you, Rajiv, and the whole participants who have listened. This was how the time spent. I didn't recognize it. It was just mesmerizing. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Rajiv.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being with me and understood that what is needed. And I tried to give a holistic picture, including international, national, and interstate and intrastate. That way, I tried to, because unless we look at the things holistically, with a holistic picture, it is very difficult to understand that what we need to do, how we need to do, and what is the right approach that we should be doing. So that was the reason I tried to put it together. And thank you, all of you all, for giving me patience yearly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you all once again for your presence, participations, and contributions. We express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for making this event a resounding success. Your support has been invaluable for us, and we look forward to your continued collaboration in the future. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Rajiv, that you gave me an opportunity, and this was an excellent forum. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.